My boy-girl twin just turned 18, but when they were 16, something shifted. Confusion, lack of focus, low self-esteem, rebellion. They came to us and said what so many teens now say. We need counseling, maybe meds. All our friends are doing it. And let me tell you, as a parent raised on Ayurveda, mantras, and tulsi leaves, holy basil, for sore throats, this was terrifying. But this is the pressure you face when you raise kids in the West, especially if they come of age during COVID era. In 2021, the CDC reported that 8.2% of US children aged between 5 and 17 were taking medication for mental health. That's 28.7 million kids. 11.5% were on therapy or counseling. That's 40 million kids, 1 in 12. And here's the thing. Western medicine has its place. I'll give them that. Amazing at surgery, great at numbing pain, brilliant at managing symptoms. But healing, understanding the root, not even close. Western psychiatry, for all its thick textbooks and fancy terminology, still hasn't even defined what the mind is. And yet the whole world follows their model like gospel, like it's a cultural virus that spreads fast and left something sacred behind. Let me tell you what ancient India has had long before therapy apps. Satsang, a community and gathering with the wise. Mantra, sound-based healing for the nervous system. Introspection, real, raw internal truth-telling. Ayurveda, the original mind-body science. Your therapist was your grandmother with a plant medicine and ancient wisdom. Look, I'm not here to bash everything in psychiatry. Some of it helps people function. Some of it genuinely saves lives. But let's be honest, it's built on sand. Psychiatrists like Sigmund Freud, Johann Christian Reil, Wilhelm Wundt romanticized what little they understood, borrowing heavily from Vedic concepts, then distorted them. Modern psychiatry is a mix of pharmaceutical pressure, overdiagnosis, DSM label, diagnostics and statistical manual of mental disorder for everything under the sun, and clinical coldness. In ancient India, mental illness wasn't always as wrong. Sometimes it was viewed as being tuned into another realm. Those people became shamans, seers, mystics, priests, because the mind wasn't just chemical, it was cosmic. Let me give you a snapshot from the Vedas. According to ancient Vedic wisdom, the mind is made up of 4 parts. Manas, the emotional, reactive mind. Buddhi, the intellect and power of discrimination. Chitta, the storehouse of memory and awareness. Ahamkara, the ego, the sense of I. Remember, they did not classify consciousness as mind, like in the West. Consciousness is completely different from the mind. Consciousness operates in different states. And we live in 4 states of consciousness, actually more, but the 4 main states. The waking state, the dreaming state, deep sleep state, and the 4th state is called Turiya, awareness beyond thought, ego, and emotion. Ancient India didn't separate mental health from spiritual health. There were no clinics, no forms to fill, no pills to pop. Instead, there was Satsang, truth in community. There was mantra, vibrational reprogramming. There was a culture of inner listening. Yes, some mental illness may have chemical roots, but the soul still needs tending instead of being put in a zombie-like state. And when we treat every sadness as a disorder, every rebellion as a pathology, every emotional pain as a dysfunction, we lose the sacred voice of the soul. Your mind isn't broken. It's ancient. It's multidimensional. And sometimes it's just calling for truth. Maybe what you need isn't another diagnosis. Maybe you need a mantra, a fire pit, a circle of elders. Maybe you don't need a shrink. You just need Satsang, a community that cares. More to uncover. Namaste.